Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mark from Stretchworks again. Today we're going to be going over a table-based stretch that really focuses in on the quads. A lot of times you'll see this again at the gyms where you'll see people prop their front of their foot up here and stand forward and really focus on stretching that quad muscle. And so today we're going to give you some kind of helpful tips and variations that you can add to that simple stretch to really enhance it. And so if you followed some of our videos before, we're big proponents on moving better so you can live better through movement. And so the way you do that is through dynamic stretching versus static stretching. And so we tend to use our environment and all different variations of our variables to really work on improving our overall mobility and flexibility. So if you like our videos that we're posting out there, if you enjoy the content, please make sure you like below, and then also if you could do us a favor and subscribe. That way you stay on top of all the new videos that we post. We're going to try to continue to post minimally once a week, but ideally daily if we can. So we'll continue to put out the content. If you have suggestions or maybe things that you would like to see that we can give kind of cool variations to, or maybe a little bit more insight on if it's good or bad, we would love to hear from you. So feel free to comment below and we'll be glad to help you out. So today, again, we're going to go over the table-based stretching that really focuses on the quad. We'll do a little bit of both sides, and then we'll add some, again, variations to again, show you how that will enhance the tissue. But, the quad's a very important muscle, especially for runners, cyclists, anything with jumping. The quads are such an explosive muscle that helps with that. There's 4 parts to it. So it helps with, abduction, adduction, flexion, extension, you name it. So very, very big, crucial muscle, I should say, that I think a lot of people don't work enough to improve the mobility of. So here's the example stretch that we're going to work on. So maybe you've seen it before where the person lifts the heel, they're kind of standing down. Now, if you don't have really good balance, obviously this might be a little bit troublesome for you. So as we always make a reminder, if you're in any pain or discomfort or you're holding your breath, these are some good signs that you might want to just back off on the stretch a little bit. So maybe lowering the table, not as much, or maybe don't bring your butt as close to the heel and standing further away. That can kind of sometimes help as well. So when you get into more excessive knee flexion, that can kind of cause a little bit more maybe knee pain or even quads. So really, if you have some balance issues, sometimes, like I said, you can add in a chair. Here's an example, just to give you some support so you're not all over the place and then you don't fall and hurt yourself. So in this example, you can kind of see I'm already in a flex position. I'm not going to use the chair. In fact, I'll probably put it over here on the left in case I don't have any balance. I can always reach for it. So that's another safety tip. But here's a good example of what you see in the gym. A lot of times you'll see individuals just prop their leg up and then they'll just hold the stretch here, which is okay. There's obviously a lot more things that you can do to kind of enhance that, which we're going to go over in just a second. But as I told you, a lot of times static stretching, there's a lot of research out there that shows it'll have negative impacts. So today we're going to do a lot more dynamic stuff. So as you've seen in some of our shorter videos, we add in those hands. And so the hands will give us a little bit more extension. That extension is going to lengthen all of the tissue, especially in the front of the quad, to give us a deeper stretch. So as we add hip extension, you can see this is going to lengthen versus shorten. As we go down, it makes it easier. So we're loading here, exploding up, enhancing the stretch. So the cool part is not only are we working here, but as we've said, a lot of these mobility exercises work on all parts of the chain. So whether you're going up or even down. So adding this gives us a little bit more element. We talked about side to side, so you add in the arm this way or add in the arm that way. Again, it gives us kind of that stretch in that frontal plane in the quad, and then we can add in that rotation. So that rotation, by using the hands, it forces the hips to also rotate to the left, which is lengthening all the tissue on the outside. And as we come here, you can feel a little bit more on the inside. So as you're doing these and changing up the variables, we always want to stress the idea of staying in tune with your body, listening to it. So again, if you are in pain or you're feeling maybe too much of a stretch, or it's uncomfortable. These are things you might want to back off and kind of see how your body plays out. But the idea really behind stretches is exploring. You know, taking your hands here, maybe taking your hands up there, or even one at a time, right? One at a time. And all that stuff really helps to improve the mobility of the tissue that you're trying to work. So that's a simple, easy technique that you can do to really enhance the quad stretch from this position. As I mentioned, if this is too high, another way that you can do it is maybe you grab a chair which is a little lower, as you can see in this example, and I'm just maybe bending down a little bit, and go based on where you feel. So obviously you can't see that in that video. So what I'll do is I'll kind of move around here, and maybe you can see it if I go from this angle. It's a little lower right now. If you want to enhance it, you can kind of squat down a little bit more, or maybe this is enough. So really focus on driving that. A good way to add more of that stretch is, instead of maybe being so close, if you extend the hip more, now you're going to feel a deeper stretch, and you might even feel it more in the hips. So here's a good alternative, right? We're stepping forward, go back, we go side to side, just like that, or even add rotation. And if you don't have really good balance, find something that's close to you that you can do it. So these are two variations, two different heights, but notice how just by changing this height to going down lower, how that changes the impact it has on the actual quad stretch that we're doing, right? And so feel the difference. And so play around with it. I encourage you to look at different variables of the stretch. So as far as not only just where you're reaching, but also different heights. So here's an example of a height modification that changes the stretch a little bit more, right? You can also put where am I putting this opposite leg? So right now I'm in front, but say I decide to put the chair out here, and I'm gonna bring my right leg maybe a little bit more out. So as I do that, I'm creating more abduction here, so out, away from my body in this hip. And if I drive down, you're gonna feel a lot more quad, but you're going to feel some more adductors than that as well. Okay, so these are some easy variations that you can do, that now I'm not only stretching the quad, but I'm stretching elements around that tissue, which is, again, why it's so important, because we are one combined system, and when we move three-dimensionally as well as we move together. So when we're providing movement, it's not just the quads that are doing stuff. For example, in a jump, it's the movement of the quad and the glutes and the hamstrings and the calves and the waistline, right, and the abdominals and maybe even the chest and upwards to the neck, that all play a pivotal role into your explosive in the jump. So stay limber, stay flexible. If you've got questions, let us know, comment below. Appreciate it if you like the video, especially if you like the content, and then follow us, because we want to continue to help you move better so you can live better. So stay healthy, stay limber, and look forward to the next time we pop the next video. So cheers.